What's going on, my fellow stock market trader and investor homies? Welcome back to the channel. The overall stock market has been ugly over the past couple of days as inflation numbers just keep coming back uglier and uglier. However, one stock, the stock that we talked about last week, ticker CFVI, is exploding to the upside. CFVI is this SPAC that is taking the social media startup, the YouTube competitor Rumble, public. Last week, I discussed why I thought Rumble was extremely undervalued at its current valuation. And the stock continues to go higher, so it looks like the smart money and investors agreed with my take. So today we're going to circle back a little bit, discuss why I still think Rumble is still cheap even at today's price. We're currently trading at about a little less than $14 per share. I think this is a $20 plus stock today and could end up being a $30 or $40 stock in the next couple of years. Tons of upside with this ticker right here, CFVI. All right, so let's take a quick look at the chart and the move that has happened over the past couple of weeks. All right, so we did our first video right here. Then we broke out, had a pullback, and now we're breaking back out. Currently trading at a little less than $14 per share. A ton of really good big news surrounding Rumble and this merger. We had the Andrew Tate situation happen. Andrew Tate, a huge following. He was kicked off social media for stuff that he'd been saying. Now, I don't agree with everything that Andrew Tate said. I disagree with a lot of what he says. But think about how crazy it is that he was just blackballed from all social media. He wasn't inciting violence. He wasn't saying anything crazy that should be get kicked off social media. However, he was. We are living in an extremely sensitive and crazy time, and that is going to allow a company like Rumble to thrive. It is going to push some creators that have hot takes onto a platform where they are allowed to express these hot takes. Now, look at a guy like Andrew Tate. He said some pretty outlandish stuff, but is it any worse than a rap song? Think about what rappers say on a daily basis about women, about violence. What Andrew Tate is not nearly as explosive as what 95% of rappers say on a daily basis. But because of what he said, he was kicked off social media and forced to seek an alternative platform, and that platform was Rumble. And he has already amassed a massive following on the platform. One of his live streams saw over 500,000 concurrent viewers. Now, this led Joe Rogan to talk about Rumble on his podcast.
There has to be somewhere else we can go where they're not going to do that. Gets as big as. No, they're not big enough.
Oh, you want like giant numbers?
Any big boys. Because that's how I sell my tickets on the road.
Well, see, with Rumble, though, they're getting bigger people over there now. And as they get bigger and bigger people, they made a big play for me when all that shit was going down with me. Yeah, they offered me $100 million.
Now, Rumble made a play for Joe Rogan. Rumble offered Joe Rogan $100 million. That's right, $100 million. And he turned it down for Spotify. However, Rogan still speaks very highly of Rumble, and I do believe there's still an opportunity for Rumble and Rogan to work together in the future. But even if Rogan never ends up on Rumble, it is still a platform that very, very popular creators are going to gravitate to. A guy like Steve Will Do It, a member of Nelk, he was kicked off of YouTube for showing one of his sponsors, a gambling platform, on his YouTube channel. Wiped off of YouTube. Now, maybe it violated YouTube's terms and service conditions, and they had the right to kick them off the platform. Does that mean they should have? I don't know. I don't really think they should have. I like Nelk. I enjoy their content. I like Steve Will Do It. I enjoy his content. And as more and more popular creators join Rumble and start using and utilizing the platform, Rumble will continue to grow. It is still undervalued from my standpoint, and here's why. Look at a company like Snapchat, probably one of the worst publicly traded social media companies right now. I would not invest your money in Snapchat because I just don't think there's any upside. I think it's extremely overvalued. Right now, it has a market cap of $20 billion on sales of $4.5 billion. The only people using Snapchat right now are OnlyFans creators selling explicit content behind a paywall and dudes buying that content. Pretty much the only people using Snapchat right now, right? They still have a market cap of $20 billion. Nobody is using the platform. Their daily and monthly active users continue to drop. The numbers are terrible. The stock has declined, but it still has a market cap approaching $20 billion. Look at a company and a stock like Twitter. Twitter is full of bots. It has sales of just $5 billion. Not much better than Snapchat, but it has a market cap of $32 billion. Now, I think Rumble maybe won't have the monthly active users, the daily active users right off the jump as a Snapchat or a Twitter, but I think the sales can absolutely beat the numbers of Twitter and Snapchat in the near future. I don't think it will take long for Rumble to catch up to these companies. Now, you're looking at a valuation of Snapchat, $20 billion, Twitter, $32 billion. Rumble is going public with an estimated valuation right in the neighborhood of about $2 billion. $2 billion versus $30 billion with Twitter. So your downfall, your critique of Rumble is that it's a right-wing political platform only, but it will evolve into more. And even if it stays a political platform, look who your audience is. Your audience is middle class Americans who have expendable capital, and advertisers are going to want to get their ads in front of that audience, meaning it's a high demand audience and people will spend money to get their ads in front of those individuals, more so than Twitter, more so than Snapchat, and that leaves me wanting to invest in this company. Now, this next comparable is a stretch. It is a stretch to say the least, but look at Facebook. Look at Meta. It has a market cap of $412 billion. Obviously, you're not comparing Rumble to Meta, especially not right away. But $412 billion. Let's say Rumble can only do 1% of the numbers as Meta. That's still a $4 billion valuation. That's still 2x upside, only if Rumble evolves into 1% of Meta. Now, look at Meta. Meta is a dying company, in my opinion. The only people using Facebook are grandmas sharing pictures of their grandkids. TikTok has taken over. The instant gratification of TikTok. YouTube is still a big player. Google. But I think Meta and Facebook are dying. That's why they're trying to evolve into this metaverse brand of the company. A huge valuation still of $412 billion. Why? Because advertisers need a place to put their ads and get those ads in front of viewers. There is big money in the space. If you can get an audience on a platform who has expendable capital, advertisers won't care. Now, there's the fear that advertisers won't use Rumble because of its right-wing conspiracy theory audience base, and that just isn't true. Advertisers will go and put their ads wherever they think they can make more money, because at the end of the day, all that matters to these companies is the bottom line. And as Rumble continues to grow, as more and more popular creators join the platform and start putting their content on the platform, these advertisers will come. We got Joe Rogan talking about Rumble. We have Patrick Bet-David, a popular podcaster on Rumble. We have Steve Will Do It discussing joining Rumble. Huge. If Steve Will Do It joins Rumble, you're talking about he had 3 or 4 million YouTube subscribers alone. You bring 3 million people onto the platform that use it consistently. That's a platform by itself. That is a big business by itself. Then you add Andrew Tate, a couple more million people. You're looking at millions and millions of people learning about Rumble and joining this platform. That's how it evolves from just a right-wing, Republican-only platform. And then you got the youth side of the thing with Andrew Tate, Steve Will Do It. You got Russell Brand, maybe the biggest comedian out there right now on the platform. This thing is growing, and it's growing quick. And the growth has already started. First quarter of 2021, Rumble recorded monthly active users in the amount of 31.9 million. In 2020, they were just having about 1.6 million monthly active users. That is massive growth. And these numbers are from 2021. So they had 31.9 million monthly active users in the first quarter of 2021, which was before they added all these new massive creators like Andrew Tate, like Steve Will Do It is starting to talk about joining the platform. Russell Brand, probably the most popular comedian in the world right now other than Chappelle. These are huge names that are joining the platform. And as these creators continue to join the platform, these numbers are going to continue to climb. And let's say at the end of this year, they have over 100 million monthly active users, which I think is very doable, or they could have more than that. And you're starting to catch up and see numbers comparable to a platform like Snapchat, which has a market cap of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10x that of Rumble. And that's why I'm investing heavily in this stock, and I think it's undervalued. And early investors will be rewarded. Now, you may not agree with some of the creators' political position, but does that really matter? To me, it doesn't. Now, I'm looking at this thing as gravely undervalued. And if we go back to the chart, let's look at the technical analysis side of this thing. Right now, we're trading at $13.80 per share. Now, it looks like we've had a massive move put in. That's because we have. We've ran up from $10 all the way up to almost $14 per share. We had this bull flag. This is where we started talking about Rumble. This bull flag right here. We said we were looking for the breakout, and that's exactly what we had. I am going to be buying on red days. We're going to have volatile days. This thing's not just going to go straight up. We're going to have pullbacks, and I'm going to be buying into those pullbacks. We were trading up at $18.50 per share. That's the all-time high. Now, I will say this was a little bit of a meme stock squeeze rally right here, so you can't really count it as, true price action. However, I think this is a $20-$25 stock in the next 12 months. Right now, we're trading at $13. So obviously, I think it's undervalued as that's a 2x move up towards $25 per share. So what I'm going to be looking to do is buy in front of these prior areas of resistance. We know prior resistance becomes new support. We have support down there at $11.75 per share. We have another area support right here at about $13.50 or so. So I'm going to be looking red days. When we have big down days, I'm going to be buying into those dips. This thing is trading too cheap. It's just a mathematical equation. These advertisers are going to be coming into the name. They're going to be wanting to get their products, their services in front of these Rumble viewers. Their eyeballs are worth money, and there's going to be a lot of money to be made on this new platform. The people are going to be coming. People are leaving YouTube. People are leaving Snapchat. People are leaving Twitter, and they are looking for places to get their information. All right, guys, remember, I'm way too stupid to be a financial advisor, so don't take this as such. Do your own research. Do your own due diligence. I love every single one of you guys, and I'll catch you in the next video. Until next time, Deuces up later.